Outdoor gear used to be simple. Rain was real, cold was real, wind was real, but then outdoor brands stopped selling only protection from the weather. They started selling protection from looking ordinary. Now a man can spend $900 on a shell built for alpine rescue and use it to survive light drizzle outside a coffee shop. He can wear a parka designed for extreme cold while waiting for brunch. And look, I love good outdoor gear. A great jacket is one of the few clothing items that actually has a job. It should keep you dry, warm, comfortable, alive if things get serious. But expensive gear is not the enemy. Expensive fantasy is. So today, we're looking at 5 outdoor brands that may be ripping you off, not because every product is bad, but because the story became more expensive than the function. Then, I'll show you 3 brands that are actually worth it. Let's start with the brand that turned the mountain into a shopping mall. Number 5, The North Face. The North Face started with real outdoor credibility. In the 1960s, it was tied to climbers, camping gear, Yosemite energy, and people who actually needed equipment. And that history matters. The problem is not that the North Face became fake. The problem is that it became iconic. Once a brand becomes iconic, people stop buying the jacket and start buying the symbol. The Nups is the perfect example. Warm? Yes, recognizable? Absolutely useful? Often, but for many men, it is less about insulation and more about identity. You are not just buying a puffer. You are buying the feeling that you could leave for base camp after lunch. Except you're going to the supermarket. That does not mean the jacket is bad. It means the fantasy is doing too much work. If you want warmth and style, fine. But don't confuse a city puffer with expedition equipment. The North Face did not sell you a mountain. It sold you the feeling that your sidewalk had altitude. Number 4, Helly Hansen. Helly Hansen has serious roots. This is not a fake outdoor label invented in a marketing office. The brand goes back to Norwegian sea captain Helly Joel Hansen. Harsh weather, sailing, rain protection, workwear. Skiing real conditions. That is exactly why the modern trap works. When a brand has authentic roots, it can sell authenticity to people who may never need it. Helly Hansen has that clean, Scandinavian, storm-ready look. The logo says, I know weather. The jacket says, I might own a boat. Suddenly, a rainy Tuesday feels like an offshore expedition. Some Helly gear is genuinely good. But ask yourself, do you need serious sailing protection? Or do you need a decent rain jacket while the brand makes drizzle feel heroic? That is the problem. When rainwear starts acting like it owns a yacht, the price gets emotional. Helly Hansen can sell performance. But sometimes it sells yacht cosplay with a zipper. Number 3, Canada Goose. Canada Goose is where the story gets almost too good. Because the brand has real cold weather credibility. The Expedition Parka was not invented for a man walking from his SUV to dinner. It was built for people dealing with extreme cold scientists, workers, real winter conditions. So yes, Canada Goose can make a serious parka. But that is not how most people wear it. Most people are not crossing frozen tundra, they are crossing a parking lot. This is where the value question gets brutal. At nearly $2,000 prices, you need to be honest. Are you buying protection from extreme cold, or are you buying the social temperature of being seen in Canada Goose? Because the jacket communicates before you do. The hood, the patch, the weight. The eye could survive Antarctica energy. Meanwhile, your biggest survival challenge is getting a table without a reservation. That is not a weather problem. That is status-wearing insulation. If you live somewhere brutally cold, fine, but if your coldest expedition is waiting outside a restaurant, maybe you do not need Antarctic scientist money on your shoulders. You might just need a good coat and less theatre. And the next 2 brands are where outdoor clothing stops being gear and becomes social currency. Number 2, Moncler. Moncler is not really selling the mountain. It is selling the photo after the mountain. The ski resort. The glossy snow. The person who looks cold but somehow still rich. The puffer that says, I have never carried my own luggage, but I am prepared for winter. Moncler has history, it has down expertise, it has real luxury positioning. But let's not pretend most buyers compared technical specs over dinner. They are buying the shine, the badge, the status, the feeling of being expensive even when freezing. And that is fine if you are honest. Fashion can be emotional. Luxury can be irrational. But don't call it serious outdoor value. A jacket can be warm and still overpriced. It can use quality down and still charge mostly for identity. Moncler is what happens when a down jacket stops climbing mountains and starts trying to get into a private members club. That is not survival gear. That is a rich person's marshmallow with sleeves. Number 1. Arc'teryx. This is the dangerous one, because Arc'teryx can be excellent. Some shells are serious equipment built for alpine weather, abrasion, helmets, harnesses, rock, ice, and conditions where normal jackets quit. Arc'teryx is not ripping off climbers. It may be ripping off men who dress like climbers to survive drizzle. The product can be real, the use case can be ridiculous. That is the whole point. A $900 shell can make sense if you need elite waterproofing, durability, and alpine features. But if your biggest danger is a wet parking lot, the jacket is not the problem. Your fantasy is. So ask yourself honestly, do you need technical protection? Or do you enjoy looking like someone who might know how to use a carabiner? Because Arc'teryx has become more than gear. It is now a signal. Quiet wealth. Urban discipline. I don't wear logos, except this one means I understand things. If that is why you bought it, congratulations, you bought a very waterproof personality. Now let's be useful. Some brands still remember the job. Rain should be blocked, wind handled, cold managed, sweat released, and your bank account should survive. Here are 3 outdoor brands actually worth it. Number 3, Outdoor Research. Outdoor Research feels like a brand made for people who read the weather forecast instead of dressing for Instagram. And the origin story fits. The company was started by Ron Gregg, a scientist and mountaineer, after a brutal Denali experience made one thing very clear. In the mountains, small gear failures can become very big problems. That matters because Outdoor Research still feels problem first. It is not usually the loudest name. Good, the mountain does not care if your jacket got likes. Outdoor Research often focuses on the boring things that matter. Ventilation, hoods, pockets, zippers, movement, weather protection. This is gear first thinking. Not every item is perfect. But Outdoor Research feels less interested in turning you into a lifestyle billboard and more interested in making sure your shell works when weather turns ugly. Less ego, more gear. That is worth the label. Number 2, Patagonia. Patagonia is not cheap. And no, owning Patagonia does not make you an environmental hero with a cabin, a rescue dog, and perfect coffee. But Patagonia earns its place because the value is often connected to the product, not just the image. The brand comes from climbing culture, not luxury fashion. Yvon Chouinard started as a climber and gear maker before Patagonia became a global outdoor name. That dinar still matters. A Torrent shell is not the fanciest rain jacket in the world. That is almost the point. It is simple, practical, built around weather protection, and priced sensibly next to high-end shells. Patagonia also has something many brands love to talk about but rarely build around: repair culture. That matters. Real value is not only what a jacket does on day 1, it is what happens after year 3, when a zipper fails or the jacket has lived an actual life. Patagonia is not perfect. But compared to brands selling mountain theatre, Patagonia often sells something boring and more valuable, a jacket that does its job. Basic, until you realise how many brands forgot that part. Number 1, Decathlon Quechua. This is the least glamorous winner. That is exactly why it wins. Quechua was born in the French Alps near Mont Blanc as Decathlon's hiking and camping brand. And that origin shows in the mission. Not luxury, not status, not look at my expedition fantasy, just can normal people get outside without being financially punished? Nobody sees a Quechua jacket and thinks, that man has a chalet. Nobody whispers, that guy summits emotionally. Good, because Decathlon understands something the luxury outdoor world seems to forget. Most people need outdoor gear to go outside, not to build an identity. Quechua is not trying to make hiking look expensive, it is trying to make hiking accessible. Rain jackets, fleeces, hiking pants. Backpacks, are they always premium? No, but for normal people doing normal outdoor things, the value can be almost insulting to the hype brands. Once you realize a practical jacket can keep you dry without making you feel like an alpine influencer, the whole game changes. Decathlon is what happens when a brand remembers hiking should not require a finance plan. And that is the lesson. Outdoor clothing should solve problems. Cold, rain, wind, sweatwear. If a brand solves those problems, pay for it. If a brand only makes you feel like the main character in a wilderness documentary, stop. You are not buying gear. You are buying a campfire story with a zipper. So before you spend outdoor money, ask one question. Would I still want this if nobody saw the logo? If yes, buy it. If no, leave the mountain cosplay on the rack. Worth the label. We follow quality, not the logo.